This morning I was just sat at the cafe behind me over there and I was really contemplating the tension between attachment and novelty. This is something that is totally laid bare when you are out on the road doing this sort of traveling nomadic lifestyle. So the area I've come to now is a little bit more rural, but of course you have a trade-off there when it comes to amenities, things that you get used to, whether that's the local cafe with the lovely air conditioning and the espresso that I'm used to, etc. But having said that, where I was at before, I didn't have access to somewhere like this, which is pretty cool. Hello. You go down there. It's quite steep though. Don't fucking fall off. That would be a nasty fall down there. Fuck me. But one of the things that I was missing in Canggu was this ability to be able to just walk and think and create videos like this, which is kind of like my thing and the thing that I really enjoy doing, which is getting out and about, exploring and then making some content. Hey, how nice is this? I'm like, I was sat there this morning in this cafe, fucking getting pissed off about how my new hotel or new villa didn't have the right optimal setup for me to sit in front of the camera like I did at the first place that I was staying at. And then there is this sort of addictive, alluring nature of grasping for things that have been and gone in life, but especially when you're traveling. And because sometimes I think, was the first place even that special? Or was it just because it was new? This like appears everywhere in life. And kind of stuck here. I'll have to go across this little bit. This shows it up everywhere, and this is why I opened with the tension around attachment and novelty. See, I was getting attached to my flip-flops then. Didn't want to take them off, did I? Got too comfortable. But how nice is this? So beautiful. But yeah, sure, the first place I was at, it did have a really nice setup so I could sit in front of the camera. But what didn't it have? I didn't have this. I had to make the content in my room. What's the fucking point of coming all the way here and not actually making some content outside? And that's one of the things that I sort of came round to this morning when I was sat there and I was journaling, and I was so close to moving, just forgetting about the money that I paid for the place, go back to Canggu, play it safe, go to the same cafe. And then I'm like, but there must be something about this place. Like, there must be a lesson here. What could I learn? And then I journaled and I said to myself, what are the alternative universes in which I don't get in my own way and make excuses for creating content? And one of the big ones, which is crazy, right? I've been avoiding going outside because I didn't want to get sunburnt. What? What, because I'm so attached to the idea of not wearing sun cream because it's supernatural? Well, why don't I just put some sun cream on and come out in the middle of the day? Or because I don't want to wear sunglasses. By the way, you look like a fucking bell end in glasses, don't you? I hate wearing sunglasses. But there we go. We're out in the middle of the day, so we're looking to not burn our corneas. I think to get the most out of travel and in life, you have to have the right mixture of some form of routine, but plenty of novelty. I mean, and this is like bang on here, where I'm like, stop being so rigid in the way that I create content or whatever, and just mix it up. Like, stop being a perfectionist. This is the first time I've used my 360 camera And who knows, I might regret it in the end because I might have trouble editing it later on. But it's nice, it changes it up for me, it gets me to do something a little bit different. When I went to the silent retreat a few weeks ago, one of the recurring themes was just reflecting on the big trip that I did 9 years ago. Those of you who don't know, I did a year around the world, and quite often when I think back to that trip, I would get like a knot in my stomach, even though they're all happy memories. Of course, there were some challenging memories, but the relation of the knot in stomach to memory did not correlate with any like negative affect at the time. And it's something I've been trying to figure out for years. What is that about? And I still haven't fully figured it out. But I think it's almost like the beauty and the ludicrosity of that time. And kind of at this time too, like how ludicrous is it that that's a thing that I got to do or a thing that I'm going to do? And wow, it's gone. But fucking hell, that was amazing. Sometimes, you know, I'm a bit of a mope and I get myself down and stuff. But then other times I think to myself, this is like the fucking Truman Show. Like, how amazing. Like, why do I get to be so lucky? There's people here, their wage is about 95 to 98% less than mine. Mental. And we have this, those of us born in the West or born in English-speaking countries, even more of a benefit, and being white, like all these ridiculous forms of privilege that we've been born with. And if you're watching this from a working class town in England or in the States and you're struggling, you probably won't feel that. But it's because of the expense, how expensive it is to live in the West. You come out to somewhere like this and you realize just how lucky you are. I really do have this sort of tendency to just like get in my own way when it comes to like perfectionism, like probably a little bit of OCD around like just like things like textures and stuff, like putting on sun cream and even coming to the beach. Like when I was a kid, I hated coming to the beach, hated sand, because it's kind of, you can't control it. Sand is the fucking earthly definition of letting go. You can't control it. Look at it. You can't grasp it. It doesn't last. It gets all up in the areas that you don't want it to. But that's also what makes it beautiful. So I kind of, I had a rough idea of what I wanted to talk about today. But I must admit, it's kind of malformed as I've come out and walked. And I feel a lot better than I did. Because I hadn't come here. And I've put myself out of my comfort zone. And I've stopped being a perfectionist. I've just gone with the flow. So you might not be in as lucky position as I am right now to be out here. But I think whatever you're doing in life, just try and let go of control and just go with the flow. And if watching this makes you want to do the same thing, and you have the privilege to be able to save up a couple of months' wages and come out here and live for 6 months, then do it. Because one of these days you're going to die. Don't live with regret. I think to conclude all of what I've just been talking about, we all have advantages in whatever circumstance we find ourselves in. I think asking yourself the question of what would someone else give their left arm for that I have right now, and focus on that. And for me right now, that is, I have access to the beach. I have the ability to go outside and sunbathe if I want to. It's quiet. When I go outside at night, I can see the stars. And for someone who's at home, then you have the ability to go around to one of your parents' house to say hello, or your best friend, or visit the place where your loved ones are buried. Like, we have these advantages all over the place. We just need to
wake up and see what we have in front of us and what other people would likely crave that aren't in our position. So that's all from me. Hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Thank you.